Guys, what is up? This book is one of the most legendary books of all time. It's the first book in the Trapped in a Video Game series. This series is absolutely amazing, and you see behind me is the entire box full of all 5 books in this series. And today I'm going to read a couple chapters in this book here. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Chapter 1, Boogers and Blasters. Jesse, come over now. You're not going to believe this. That was the text that ruined my life. I know, that doesn't sound like a life ruiner, especially because the text sender my friend Eric says, you're not going to believe this. About the world's most believable things. Just in the past month, he's told me that I wouldn't believe a piece of toast that looked exactly like Darth Vader. It looked exactly like a burnt piece of toast. A sweet trick he learned on his bike, riding for literally 1/2 of 1 second without holding onto the handlebars. And a really big booger. That one actually was pretty impressive. I ignored the text for a little bit because nothing makes Eric talk faster than silence. When he didn't write back after 5 minutes, I finally replied, "What is it?" No response. "You gonna tell me or what?" "Nothing." "This better not be another booger." "Nope." 5 more minutes passed. I sighed. Fine. Eric was going to win this one. But only because looking at his dumb booger would be more fun than this math homework. I closed my book, put on my jacket, and walked across the street to Eric's house. The door was open, so I let myself in and walked down to the basement. "All right, let's see it," I said as I reached the bottom of the stairs. No booger. Also no Eric. "Come on," I called out. I wandered into the laundry room where the dirty clothes should be. I walked upstairs into Eric's room, where the dirty clothes actually were. I checked behind all doors, inside all the closets, and under the beds. No booger, no Eric. I couldn't believe it. Ever since Eric's family moved into the house across the street from mine in first grade, his favorite activity has been playing practical jokes on me. I appreciate a good practical joke just as much as the next guy. Unfortunately, none of Eric's practical jokes are good because he's so important. He ruins every joke before it even begins. I don't know how many sleepovers I've been to where Eric has attempted to dip a sleeping friend's finger into warm water, only to have the water dumped over his head by the victim, who had had his eyes closed for less than 30 seconds. So, on one hand, I had to admire Eric's commitment to this practical joke. On the other, it may have been his dumbest yet. Back in the basement, I decided I had enough. "Okay," I yelled to an empty house. "I'm going back home now. I have to finish the math homework due Monday. Maybe you should do the same." More silence. I looked around. The only sign of life anywhere was a video game paused on the TV in the corner. Eric loved his video games, especially the one on the screen right now. Full Blast. Never heard of Full Blast. That's because it's not out yet. Eric got it 2 weeks ago from Charlie, the coolest kid in our class. To clarify, Charlie isn't the coolest kid in 6th grade because he's actually a cool kid. He's the coolest because his dad works for a video game company and sometimes gives Charlie's friend early copies of games to test. For the past 2 weeks, Eric's mouth has been going full blast about Full Blast. "Jesse, I'm telling you, it's the greatest video game ever made." "I don't care. All these aliens try to take over the world, and you're the only person alive who could save everyone because I don't care. Because you found one of their blasters, and once you can charge it to full blast, you can. I don't care! You can start shooting." Eric never stopped trying to get me to watch him play his new game. I never would because I would rather get sprayed in the face with a fire hose, full blast, than watch someone else play video games. I don't hate video games, and I'm sure they're fine. I just never really had time to sit down and play them. I walked toward the TV. I never heard Eric rant about a game like he ranted about this one. Maybe I should give it a chance. At the very least, I would probably beat math homework. I picked up the controller and looked at the screen. "Are you sure?" "Yes, no." I paused for a second. "Should I?" What if I erased Eric's saved game? Nah, he wouldn't mind. He'd just be happy if I was trying to video game. I clicked yes. The instant I did, everything went black. Not everything on the screen, everything in the room. Chapter 2. Humanity's Only Hope. You know that feeling you get when you're drinking milk while skydiving and your skydiving buddy tells you a funny joke so you laugh the milk out of your nose? And then you throw up at the same time? No? That's not an experience that everyone has. Well, anyways, that's exactly how I felt after clicking yes. Like I said, everything went black the second I pressed the button. I panicked and felt around for some sort of undo. One problem, the controller was no longer in my hands. I reached back for the couch. That caused me to lose my balance and start falling into the blackness. As I fell faster, my insides started feeling like they wanted to be outsides. And then I think I barfed. And then I thought video games are the worst. And then I blacked out. When I finally opened my eyes again, I was staring at the sun. Which is funny because if there's one thing that's definitely not Eric's basement, it's the sun. I felt the ground. Dirt. Okay, super weird. I closed my eyes to get my bearings, and then I opened them again to see two angry eyes 2 inches staring back. Ah! Nap time's over, maggot! The two eyes were attached to a snarling drill sergeant, who seemed like the most furious person ever. I turned back and away. Look, this is a big... Okay, listen, if you just call my mom, the drill sergeant did not seem interested in clearing things up with Mrs. Rigsby. Instead, he picked me up by the neck just like a bully would on TV would. Listen, maggot, I don't know how you got that blaster attached to your arm, but it's there now, and we're going to use it to... The what? The what? Attached to my what? I looked down. A blaster attached to my arm, where my left hand should be. Ah! My screaming did nothing to stop the drill sergeant from continuing his little speech. Blast the aliens, come back to wherever rock they came from. You are humanity's only hope for this planet. Your mission will be long. Your mission will be difficult. Your mission will probably be deadly. But you I continued screaming through the rest of my speech. After a few more minutes of talking about how I was probably going to die, the sergeant let me go. I sat on the ground hyperventilating and trying to tear the blaster from my arm. Over my breathing, I heard the surgeon talk again. To walk around, I looked up at him. What was that? He stared angrily for a few seconds before repeating himself. Move the C-stick to walk around. I blinked a couple of times. Listen, I don't know what this is supposed to be, but you got to help me. He stared back. I took a few steps closer. I'm not supposed to be good. Now press A to jump. I squinted at him. Are you even listening to me? He didn't react. Okay, my name is Jesse Rigsby. I am in the 6th grade, and I'm not sort of alien slayer. I don't even believe in aliens, if we're being honest. So can you please just help me get this thing off my arm so I can go home and finish my homework, please? Press A to jump. No, I don't want to jump. Press A to jump. This is like a video game sort of thing, right? Like a virtual reality, some sort of headset. I reached up to tear the headset off. Instead, I bonked myself with a very real blaster stuck to my very real arm. Press A to jump. Okay, Eric Conrad. Okay, Eric Conrad. Hyperactive kid about yay high. He's the one who brought me here. You've seen him, right? Press A to... Fine, I jumped. Happy now? Well done, now it's time to blast some aliens. Follow me. No, it is certainly not time to blast some aliens. I yelled at the drill sergeant. It's time to get back to math homework. Fractions. I'm supposed to be multiplying fractions. As usual, he ignored me. I finally huffed and followed him. What else could I do? He led me through an empty military base, past rows of barracks to a firing range. He picked up a gun of his own, opened a gate for me, and then led me into a stall. 10 yards in front of me stood a cardboard cutout of a man-sized praying mantis. This is where you'll learn how to use your blaster. I very much don't want to use my blaster. Press B to fire. Okay, that's another thing. You keep telling me to press all these buttons, but what am I supposed to do if I don't have a controller? I did have a controller, but it disappeared when it fell into your weird alien place. So now what? Press B to fire. You are the least helpful person ever. Press B to fire, like this. He held up his rifle and shot the cardboard cutout. His gun made a little pew sound, and a tiny hole appeared through the cardboard. It looked like he had shot it with a pellet gun. Fine, I said. I felt around my gun for a button or trigger. Nothing. There is no B button. Are you happy now? Can you take this? At the moment, I squeezed my left hand, or where my left head should be, and the blaster in my hand fired a glowing white ball. The white ball hit the cardboard and instantly vaporized it. What was that? Very good. You might save us all yet. Just then, a much longer, much scarier praying mantis cardboard popped up. Now hold me to charge your blaster when it gets to full blast. This is full blast? I'm inside of full blast? Of course, Sergeant Sandpants wouldn't answer me. He just kept yapping away about charging and blasting and then the other weapons that you'll discover along your journey. I attempted to leave at one point, but no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't seem to climb out of the firing range stall. After a half hour, I vaporized a row of cardboard praying mantises with a machine gun, and the surgeon deemed me ready to defeat the alien scum. Oh, no, I said. Just point me to Eric Conrad, please. A glowing vortex appeared behind me. You're being dispatched to the alien outpost in the Rocky Mountains. No. Godspeed, soldier. Godspeed. The vortex got bigger. No. I tried running away, but it was too late. I got sucked in. Whoosh. Everything disappeared again. More skydiving, milk snarling. Finally, the falling stopped. I kept my eyes closed for a second longer, praying that I'd open to find myself back in Eric's basement. Bad news. No basement. Worst news, lots of snow. Worst news, a praying mantis the size of a tank was charging at me. Find out what happens next in the next video.